Hello. Today I'm going to talk about the display messages on your W222 or your 2016 Mercedes Benz S550. And the general note shows that display messages appear in the multifunction display. With certain display messages, you will also hear a warning tone. And to get rid of some of those annoying messages, you can basically hit the return button on the steering wheel. If you want to see what the car is complaining about, you basically hit the home button on the steering wheel, scroll up and down to the service menu, hit OK, and then basically look for the message memory. In particular today I want to focus on the battery, what the battery symbol will show. And let's go to that page and let's see what the battery symbol looks like. This is basically this. And there's a few possibilities why the battery symbol will come on your dash. Maybe a defective alternator, maybe you have a dead cell in your battery, maybe your belt, your serpentine belt, maybe that's broken or torn, and guess what, the alternator is not spinning. So we want to basically educate you, so when you go to your mechanic, at least you sound educated, you know what you're talking about, or you have some idea of what's going on with your car. So let's go to the car now and just take a look and see a few possibilities. Alright, so now we're at the car. We have basically a voltmeter. Right now it's currently on DC 20. And also we have this little tool here that can measure both the battery when the engine's off, as well as the alternator when the engine is on. And I'm showing you both just in case you have one over the other. So let's go to the hood, pop the hood, and get started. And for the sake of the video, I removed the screws already, so we'll just go ahead and nut the screws, the little plastic container that hold each one of these, just for the sake of time. And just another note, this minus is referring to this guy right here. This goes directly to the battery if you want to charge. We're going to move this panel as well. Alright, so now we have access to the positive battery. This is the positive lead going to the battery. This is the negative lead going to the battery. It makes it very convenient to access. Alright, so first things first, we're going to take the negative lead, which is the black wire, hook it up to the negative post. And basically we're going to look at the bottom half of this tool, engine off, and we're going to check the battery. I'm going to take the positive, the red wire, hook it up to the positive lead. And basically show me that my battery is normal. Let me take it off so you can see what it looks like. That's on, that's off. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to start the engine and we're going to look at the top half, which is the engine on for the alternator, and see if we get the same thing. Alright, engine is on. We're going to go ahead and we're going to test, put the red wire on the positive lead right there. We're going to look at the top half of the tool. That's off. That's on. It's basically showing me 14 volts, which is what you want. Now, if you don't get 14 volts, that means that your alternator is not producing. And one of the reasons why it's not producing is maybe the serpentine belt, which you see in front of me, maybe that's broken or it came off for whatever reason. That belt basically covers a lot of components, like the water pump, you got the alternator, you have various other components that are running off that belt. So maybe that's a good way to check it. Right now we're going to use the lead. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to move this little tool out of the way. We're going to come here. We're going to do the same thing with the voltmeter. I'm going to put the positive lead there. positive. And of course you want to get your polarity plus or minus. And the black wire is going to go to that lead, and we're going to see how much we're going to read here. Let's do that now. Alright, we got 14.4 volts. That means my alternator is good. So two different ways of checking it with two different tools. Alright, and I'm pretty sure once I turn up the car, it'll show the voltage of the car battery. Let's do that now. Alright, so engine is off. My positive lead is still there. I'm going to hook up the negative test lead here. Alright, and sure enough I have 12 volts. Alright, so that's basically how you check your battery. If your battery's dead, maybe you can have a dead cell in your battery. Maybe your battery is 6-7 years old, maybe it's time to change it. But when you bring your car to the service center, you want to sound like you're educated. You want to sound like you know what you're talking about, so people don't take you for a ride. And no pun intended. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and like, and I'll talk to you soon.